Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back. We are on day 17 of Nickelodeon Month, inching closer and closer and closer to the end here. Nickelodeon Month. We are on Drake and Josh Go Hollywood, which was a feature-length TV film based on the Drake and Josh show. So that means I have to now explain if you don't know what Drake and Josh is. Drake and Josh was basically sort of a spin-off of The Amanda Show. Both Drake Bell and Josh Peck were on The Amanda Show, and so the producers of that show got the idea to put them on their own show, a sitcom, which I thought was going to be closer to Kenan and Kel, but it wasn't. There's no audience that they talk to or anything. It's just a regular sitcom show. Basically, the plot of the show is that Drake Parker's mom and Josh Nichols' dad get married, and so now they have to live with each other. They sort of known each other, you know, here and there beforehand, but when they started dating, they knew each other more. And not only that, they have to deal with each other, they have to deal with Drake's little sister, Megan, played by Miranda Cosgrove, who would spin off to her own show, iCarly, which would not be related to this, no matter how many conspiracy theories thinks that Crazy Steve kidnapped Megan and forced her to call herself Carly. Anyway, that's the basic plot. There are other plot points that I don't really need to get into here because there's no real elements from the show other than the characters. Yeah, there's not even any recurring characters in this one. I've already done Drake and Josh. Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh, which is, I don't think I've ever explained. Explain what that show was? I'm there? I don't know. Excuse me, by the way. So the plot here is that Drake and Josh are tasked with getting Megan onto a plane to Denver to meet a friend of hers in Denver. However, Drake accidentally puts her on a plane to Los Angeles, and we'll get to why that doesn't make any sense. They decide to take another flight to Los Angeles to get her and bring her back, and again, we'll get to why that doesn't make any sense. And then trouble ensues when when Josh accidentally messes up an MP3 player for his, and the two goons come after it, and there's a whole money laundering scheme. Yeah, and Tony Hawk's Gar. So we start off with this song by Backhouse Mike, who has been linked to Drake Bell in the past. He did a song with Drake Bell on his album, his CD that I had, It's Only Time CD, Rule the World. It's a good song. A lot of good songs on that CD, including Makes Me Happy, which is in the Really Big Shrimp special, which I'll talk about next. But yes, we start with that, and then we see that there's not going to have the traditional opening, and then this is actually a movie, much like the Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh was just after this. It's after the series ended, but this was in the middle of the series. And so, so Drake and Josh's parents are going on a trip to destination unknown. They never tell us where they are. They're going on a cruise, actually. And as Josh is trying to, he's been, accepted to this special thing. I don't remember what it was called, but he has to write about his greatest adventure he ever had. But he can't think of anything, which is weird because at this point in the series, I'm pretty sure that he had many, many adventures. Like, what about when his e-pal came to visit and his brother almost married her? What about the only one I can think of? What about when their parents went out of town and they accidentally rented out the house? But there's a bunch of stuff they could have written. It's just like smack dab in the middle of the third season here. Which is something I want to talk about here. Josh Peck's weight loss. So, Josh Peck is known for being in a lot of kids' movies in the early 2000s as the chubby kid. He was in Snow Day, Max Keebo's Big Move. Big Move? I think that's what it's called. And, yeah, in Amanda's show, he's known as being the chubby kid. In the first 2 seasons, that's what he was. But starting with season 3, he noticeably started losing weight. He's thinner, more thinner in the face and stuff like that. And then by season 4, he was completely skinny. Almost looks like what he does now, only younger. So, yeah, you would not be able to tell that that's him by seeing him now. You know, if you look at him now, you wouldn't think, hey, that's the chubby kid from Snow Day, or that's the chubby kid from Max Keebo's Big Move. No, you would not be able to notice that without someone telling you, I don't think. But, yeah, here he's in the middle of his transition to Skinny Josh. So, yeah. Drake, on the other hand, has a new amplifier for his guitar that when you flip a few switches, shoots laser lights off into the air. His manager has to cancel the gig, but he says, you have to give me a gig. He has a band, by the way. And they end up at an old folks home. And this, I never got this. They're playing, he knows it's old folks. You know that they don't want him there. He's playing. In the middle of the song, he nods to his other guitar, and flips the switch, and the lasers go all over the place, causing old people to freak out. Well, duh. You don't scare the elderly with lights. Because of this, he usually fires his agent, and Josh begs and pleads to become his new agent, which he does. And that's the plot point going on in the series. That they do acknowledge it later. So not only do we find out that the parents are going on a vacation, which they seem to do in both of these movies. They go on a vacation here and they go on another vacation in the other movie. So they just got to find a way to get rid of the parents so they're not around. Both movies, they just go on vacation. Not only that, but Megan, their little sister, is going to Denver, Colorado for some friend party or something. Why she has a friend in Colorado is beyond me. All the way in San Diego, California. I don't know. Drake says he's going out to get a corn dog and takes forever to get back, and so they have to rush to the airport. I couldn't think of the word. You see my mind searching for something. To the airport. If you're wondering, you know, at this point, how does Drake have his driver's license? Because you know that he lost it. Well, that he never got it. So here, he has it, but they say it took him 6 times to get it. Well, they say 7. He says 6. So 6 times to get it. And this is where Josh finds his Geo, which is a MP3 player in this universe. They get her there and they put her on the flight. It's the wrong flight. They find out it's a flight to Los Angeles. Alright. So they find out it's a flight to Los Angeles. She's already on the flight going to Los Angeles. First issue. So they tell her, hey, they tell the lady at the desk, you need to stop the flight. She's not supposed to go on the flight. And the lady says, I'm sorry, once the doors are closed, we cannot stop the flight before it takes off. What? It hasn't even moved yet. The plane is still sitting out there. It hasn't moved. Hasn't even begun its descent. It hasn't even gone on the runway yet. It's just sitting there. But because we shut the doors, we can't. No, that's fucking stupid. I don't think that would be, like, that's just another reason for this plot to keep going. Alright? But, you know, there it is. And so, after some tomfoolery, trying to break down the door and getting taken away by security and strip searched, thank you for that image, they decide they're going to take a flight to Los Angeles. Does anyone see the problem here? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? They're in San Diego. You don't need to take a flight to Los Angeles from San Diego. It's in California. Just drive. And then I get Megan goes to, so whatever. She gets to Los Angeles, and she wants to get a flight back, but there's no flight. She wants to get a flight to Denver. And here's the thing, we gotta call Megan and tell her to get a flight back here. Why not just tell her to get a flight to Denver? Why does she have to fly? She flies all the way there. And why does she have to fly all the way back to San Diego so that she can fly to Denver? Just have her fly to Denver from Los Angeles, which she does by the end of the movie anyway. At least we're led to believe that. But here's the thing. Why do Drake and Josh have to take a flight to Los Angeles? They can just get in a car and drive there. Sure, they won't get there as fast enough as Megan, but she's going to be fine until you get there. The only reason why they take the flight is so they can have the mishap where Josh switches his Geo with the goon's Geo, whose name is Deegan, but I thought that was Milo, because there's a character named Milo that I thought was that guy. But apparently he's the big boss guy that's in charge. This guy's Deegan, the other guy is Bryce, something or other. So, yeah, that's the only reason why they take the flight is so that Josh can mess up the Geos. Which has, money codes on theirs, and his has music. So it's swapped around. And we also get the very convenient that Josh asks this guy where the Chamberlain Hotel is. That's where Megan is. So not only not only did they switch, but now the guy knows exactly where they're going. So yeah, that's a little too much convenience for my liking, but yeah. So they get to the Chamberlain Hotel, they reconvene with Megan, and when Josh is in the bedroom, he comes across this guy who's this producer for MTV, who's trying to get an act for TRL. Now, Josh gets this laptop, which we saw earlier when they were driving to the airport, that has a recording from one of Drake's concerts. It's actually footage from the Joey 101 Spring breakup special, which Drake was on, but he was playing himself there. Drake Bell. He was playing a fictionalized version of himself, not Drake Parker, which is weird because these shows all exist in the same universe. So in this universe, there's Drake Parker and Drake Bell, according to Joey 101. These will both exist at some point because, I don't know. But then also, no, because it's the same performance. So does he go out with the name Drake Bell or I don't know. It's confusing. It's literally footage of him performing at that spring breakout thing in the Zoe 101 special. But they use it as Drake Parker, but he's Drake Bell in that, and they shows all exist in the same universe. Most of them. It is Drake and Josh, Zoe 101, iCarly, Victorious, Sam and Cat, Henry Danger, Game Shakers. They all exist in the same universe because characters from different shows crossed over, so yeah. It's weird. So he talks to the guy and he gets Drake to perform on TRL, which they're happy. But then the guys just magically find their hotel room. Really, we just saw in Clockstoppers that they can't give out any information without, So maybe they paid him money. Because when the maid comes in, they flip money and says, "You didn't see anything." I didn't see anything. So, yeah. But, yeah. And bad timing because Josh just so happens to be looking at his at the GO and the stuff that's on it, so they figure out some of the stuff. So yeah, they're in deep doo-doo this time. So they get away after tussling with the guys and stealing the GO back. They get into a random red Viper that's outside and drive off. Which Drake is like, well, if they got the GO, why are they still chasing us? And just like, because I took it back. They would still be chasing you if you didn't take it back. And I don't think whoever wrote this thought of that. Because even if they had the GO, they already said you can't let them go. They know too much. So even if they did drive off, even without the GO, they still know too much because they saw the stuff on there. And that they'd figure it out and call the cops eventually, you know. Drake wouldn't, Josh would, but you know. So they drive off, and thanks to some big convenience, with U-turn and other vehicles, you know, blocking the way, they're not able to follow them. As they're driving, there are FBI agents that found them, and they know all about everything, but they're working for the bad guys. The time span of this makes no sense to me. They crash their car, they're stuck. The next scene, we see Drake and Josh driving when the FBI people come up. The fake FBI people come up and say, you know, we know what happened. Come with us. And when they open the car, the two goons are in there. And it's like, wait a minute. No. There's no way they got in there that fast. They'd still be in a traffic jam over there. There's no way it happened that fast. Like, especially because these guys that know where they were at the time, they have to call them and say, hey, we're at this place, we have to go there, get them, then go find where they're driving. It just doesn't make any sense, the time frame. No. So they get captured and they're held hostage. And then Megan wakes up the next morning not knowing what happened. She comes back from the swimming pool, sees something's going on, then she goes to sleep. Next day she wakes up. She finds the one guy's wallet, which he's obviously too stupid to figure out he lost it. And so she finds a piece of paper on there that leads to the hideout, which she arrives in a limo. That's not conspicuous at all. She gets there. She turns on a big fan, laying all the money around. Drake and Josh are able to break free. And yeah, the cops show up and arrest all the goons. Because Megan and Drake and Josh helped take the America's most wanted top 10, most wanted list. FBI's most wanted list. Top 10 on the FBI's. It's on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list. Big English. So yeah, that's all fine and dandy. And even Tony Hawk's agent, which according to Wikipedia, Tony Hawk's in here, but I didn't see him. But yeah. But Tony Hawk's agent shows up and says, "Hey, it's okay. I understand." Tony said that if there was a goon chasing him, he'd steal a car too. So, yeah. And so, but they forgot about TRL. They have only like 25 minutes to get there, but it's a 45-minute drive to Sunset Studios. So, Tony Hawk's agent talks the cops into letting the police to do basically a police barricade thing where they motorcade thing where they drive him there and escort to there. So they get there just in time to perform a song, and they show the TRL host. And first time I watched this, I wasn't too keen on it. Only TRL host I knew was Carson Daly. So I see this and I'm like, that's not Carson Daly. They couldn't afford Carson Daly, so they got this guy. And I wanted that, and I saw this, I'm like, that is not Carson Daly. I'm going to look it up. So apparently, they were going through different hosts at this time in TRL. Carson Daly left in 2003. So this was 2005. So they were kind of going through different hosts. This was Damien Fahey. No relation to Jeff Fahey, I don't think. But apparently he was a frequent host, and so they got this guy to be on there. Okay. Cool. It's always wondered why it wasn't Carson Daly, and now I know. So he performs the song Hollywood Girl, which is a good song. And yeah, the whole thing with the song though is really unnecessary, but we set up the TRL thing, so we had to do it. And then they set up something that never happened. Another movie where they go to New York. There was an idea, Drake and Josh go to New York, or go to New York, but it never happened. In fact, the whole plot with the record deal is actually done in Really Big Shrimp, and they don't even go to New York, despite the fact that there was other stuff planned after the finale, which I will talk about in the Really Big Shrimp episode. So, yeah, and that's basically it. They're driving around with girls at the end. So, yeah. Suspiciously, this DVD comes with some bonus features. 2 episodes. Helen's Surgery, which is where Helen gets laser eye surgery. Helen is the boss at Premier Theater. I'll talk about her in Really Big Shrimp. And Mindy's back, which Mindy is someone else I will talk about in Really Big Shrimp episode, because I'll explain it then. But they have a music video. Drake Bell, I Found a Way, which is the theme song to the show, which they don't use in this special, in this movie, at all. He used the Back House Mike song at the beginning and end. So, yeah, it's really weird. And also, that the video was made during season 1, so it's Chubby Josh. Or maybe before season 1, I don't know, but it's interesting. But yeah, when it comes to Drake and Josh Go Hollywood, I would say it's pretty good. So, what are your thoughts on Drake and Josh Go Hollywood? Then when it comes, so make sure to like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.